modern racing games don't hit the same anymore. That's the majority consensus. And while that might be true for the big guys, what about the games developed by the smaller, lesser known studios? Well, in this video, we're going to look at one exactly like that. Meet Tokyo Extreme Racer 2025, a game from a franchise that most people forgot or didn't even know existed. Which brings back the question, are modern racing games really dead? Or were we just too focused on the mainstream? Let's see if TXR 25 can answer this question. Before we do, let's briefly talk about the origins of the series. Tokyo Extreme Racer, aka Shutoku Battle, was never about being an industry giant. It was trying to do something specific. The series started at Genki Studios in mid-90s and their first international released game was Tokyo Highway Battle, released on the first PlayStation in 1996. And even back then, the game was already looking very different. Instead of focusing on circuit races, it was about highway battles. The inspiration for which came directly from the real-world one-gun underground racing scene. Over the years, the series released multiple sequels and spin-offs, and all across various platforms. But despite its uniqueness, it was always very niche. The reviews were mixed, the sales were modest, and outside of Japan, the series never really got that much attention. The last game was released on Xbox 360 in 2006 under the name of Import Tuner Challenge. After that, Tokyo Extreme Racer disappeared for almost 2 decades. Now, fast forward to August 2024, the return of the franchise gets announced along with a teaser trailer. Early access then launches on Steam in January 2025. The game immediately receives overwhelmingly positive reviews. Side note, I actually finished the game during its early access and somehow I didn't even realize the full game was released later same year, which is kind of fitting for the franchise. It's always been quiet, not widely marketed, and very focused on its own world. Now, back over to our question. Is this actually a good modern racing game? Short answer is yes and no. Let's break down why that is. To start off, the progression is very well done. You start with a low-tier car and you are forced to both modify it and buy a faster one later on. At the beginning, everything is locked, nothing is handed over to you, and you actually have to grind for stuff. You earn BP points, aka unlock points, and you get to pick what you want to unlock. Unlocks themselves take a long time to achieve, which is both a pro and a con. And the reason why it's a con is because of how repetitive the gameplay really is. It might be my only big issue with this game. Every single race is a highway duel. Which, I get it, it's the whole identity of the game. But all races are exactly the same. The only new thing you get in each race is the opponent. Even the progression system, as engaging as it is, often fails to keep you entertained. Now what does keep you entertained though is the cars. The car list is massive and is a true dream for a JDM enjoyer. Repetitive races? Not a problem. Just let me get my hands on the GTR, RCF and the LFA. Customization has also been done very well. Almost every car gets 3 licensed body kits and for the most part, they all look great. Graphics is another part that was very well done. Or perhaps a better expression here is medium rare. It's not overdone, it's not underdone, it's just right. You don't get the annoying lens flare or bloom effects, but you do get a proper intensity for shadows and lighting regardless of what the scenery is. The car models and textures also look great and I especially appreciate how realistic the car lights are. This game proves that you don't really need to try to look like a movie to get that ultimate experience in a racing game. The physics and handling are also solid. Nothing groundbreaking, but responsive, predictable, and enjoyable at high speed. For a highway racer, it's honestly all you really need. And I could also easily imagine these physics working in a circuit racer. They're not perfect, but they're good enough for what they were supposed to be. The storyline, it's there, but there isn't much to cover. It's presented in a sort of a comic style format, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not very engaging. The lines are kinda cheesy, the characters aren't very memorable, and after the first stage, I kinda stopped reading it, which pretty much sums it up. I mean, it's not terrible, it's just not very necessary. Anyway, is Tokyo Extreme Racer 25 a good game? 100% yes. Even though the repetitive races put an asterisk on this answer, the game still feels good. and dare I even say nostalgic. But while I appreciate the game sticking to its true identity, I would have loved to see at least a bit more versatility. For example, if we're just doing a highway racer, we could have gotten some occasional heavy traffic, which would force us to cut it up, thus making the races more challenging and entertaining. Or these parking locations. Perhaps those could have been utilized for organizing the circuit races around the streets, or maybe even drift races within the parking area, just as a little add-on to the main concept. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think this game could have used for more versatility, and what are your overall thoughts on it? If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you in the next one.